आगे सर ठीक है। Good afternoon, everyone. Let us start our today's session with a new chapter, and the name of the chapter is culture. So, first, let us discuss what to understand by culture. Normally, we can say that culture means the customs, traditions, beliefs, values of an organization. Each and every organizations, each and every organizations have different cultures. That means the culture of one organization is totally different from the culture of another organization. As I said, culture means the customs or traditions or beliefs or values of the organization. So, the customs and traditions of one organization is different from the customs and traditions of another organization. Let us take the example of Infosys and TCS. So, see, both Infosys and TCS both are the IT industry, but the culture of TCS is totally different from the culture of Infosys, right? So in TCS, we can find certain rules and regulations or certain assumptions, but we cannot find the same assumptions or same principles or same culture in Infosys, right? So that's why we can say that the culture of one organization is different from the culture of another organization. So let us discuss what is the meaning of culture. So it refers to the beliefs, values, behaviors, and material objects that together for a people's way of life, right? Yes, it refers to the beliefs or values or behavior as well as the material object that together form a people's way of life. So for each and every person is required some beliefs or values or behavior to continue his life, right? So from that, with the one person has some individual beliefs or values or behavior. In other sense, we can say that culture is the pattern taken for granted assumptions about how a given collection of people should think, act, and feel as they go about their daily affairs. Right? Yes, it is a pattern of taken for granted assumptions. So assumptions means we can assume something, right? So about how a given collection of people should think means what is the think or what is the act and what is the feel of the individual persons or individual people about the daily affairs. So it is also the values, traditions, the worldview and social and political relationship that are created, shared and transferred by a group of people bound together by a common history, geographic location, language, social classes, as well as religion, right? So the culture also related to the history, then the geographic location, languages, social classes, as well as the religion of a particular person or religion of a group of person. So culture determines how we view the world around us, right? So culture determines how we view means what is our opinion or what is our supervision about the world around us, right? So sometimes we can find the things are same but our assumptions or our perceptions are different. So according to our perception we can conclude that the culture is like this, right? So culture includes the traditions we inherited and pass on the next generation. Yes, so cultures are the traditions, as I said, culture are the traditions or customs or beliefs or values we inherited. So inherited means from it is already originated from the family, right? And pass on the context, pass on to the next generation, and we can pass that culture to our next generation, right? So see, take the example of Raksha Bandhan. If we'll consider, if we'll take the example of Raksha Bandhan, then it is one culture in the Hindu families, right? So see, it is also a traditions for the Hindu families, right? So from generation to generation we can find the same thing or we can find the Raksha Bandhan, right? So take the example of Rath Yatra, take the example of Ratmashtami, then take the example of, we can say, the Independence Day, Republic Day, then take the example of Holi, Diwali. So these are the cultures or traditions, right? And we can pass that culture or traditions to our next generation also. And finally, we can say that culture is the totality of our shared language, knowledge, material objects, and behavior, right? So, simply we can say that it is our language, it is our shared language, or it is our knowledge, or it is the material or object or behavior. Okay, so see, take the example. I'm going to give you one more example, right? So, see, let us that example of zero night, right? So see, previously, before 15 to 20 years back, there was no culture of zero night, but presently we can find, or from last 10 to 15 years, we can find the concept of zero night, right? So every person or everyone is interested to celebrate that zero night, right? So and we can find the same thing in every culture or in every area. So whatever may be the location, the people are interested to celebrate that zero night, right? So and we can also in future we can also find the same thing. That means we are passing that culture to our next generation, right? So similarly, in the organization, we can find certain customs or traditions or beliefs or assumptions are there, right? And all the organizations, they are transferring or they are passing that culture or traditions to their next generation, right? So take the example of Diwali, right now each and every organizations, they are celebrating Diwalis. They are celebrating Diwali in their office or in their organization. So this is also one culture, right? So again, in the year 2026, 27, 28, 29, 30, 40, 50, 60, in that year we can also find the celebration of Diwali in the office. So that is known as your culture. And we can see in each and every organization certain thumb rules are there, thumb rules and regulations are there. We can also say these are also the culture, right? So as I am given the example of Infosys and TCS. So see, the principles of Infosys is totally different from the principle of TCS, right? And if we can take the example of industry, right? So see, take the example of service industry, then manufacturing industry, then educational industry. So here we can find the cultures are different. So the culture of educational industry is totally different from the culture of manufacturing industry. Then the culture of manufacturing industry is totally different from the culture of service industry, or we can say that IT industry, right? So see, that is known as a culture. So in nutshell, we can say that cultures are the traditions or customs or beliefs or values of the individual persons, or beliefs or values of the organization also. Then next, culture includes the following things. So culture includes common values, right? Yes, as I said, culture means it is the traditions of the customs of a particular organization. So that's how we can find a common values. Then we can also find some common beliefs, we can also find common attitudes, right? So common beliefs means each and every person will believe on the same thing. Then we can also find some common attitudes, right? So attitudes of the people are also same. Then common behavior, right? Yes, we can also find the common behavior in the culture, right? So see, here I want to give an example. Suppose you are working in the organization, and in each and every morning you will see each and every employees of that particular organizations are greeting to each other, right? Good morning, or good morning, or good afternoon, like this. Suppose if you will join in the same organization, you will also learn the same thing, or your behavior will be same. You will also greet your seniors, juniors, as well as colleagues. Then common norms. Yes, common norms means what are rules and regulations. So there must be a common norms for all the employees, or for all the people who are working in that organization. Suppose we can take the example of Republic Day, right? So see, so next week we can find Republic Day, right? 26th January, right? So it is a common norms for each and every organization that they will celebrate the Republic Day in their organization, right? And here each and every employees are bound to come to the office to celebrate that Republic Day. So it is a common norms. And see, in time and out time of the employees, right? It is also a common norms. Then salary, holiday package, or holidays or leaves. These are the common norms for every employee. Then symbols, right? Yes, the each and every culture have a different symbols. Then customs rituals. Already I have said the culture includes some customs or rituals. Then ceremonies. Then we can also find ceremonies is, then we can also find different assumptions, right? So each and every organizations have different assumptions. Then etiquette, right? Yes, each and every organizations has some common etiquette, and if you are the employee of an organization, then it is necessary to follow that etiquette. The next one, your patterns, right? Yes, each and every organization have a different patterns, right? And if you are working in the same organization, then you must acquainted with that pattern, or we can say that you are acquainted with the same culture. So the culture includes the following things. Then move to the next slide. The next slide is key dimensions of cultures. What are the key dimensions of culture? So the key dimensions of cultures are classified into six parts. First on your relationship with nature, right? So these dimensions are given by different people or different authors. So according to sketching, so relationship with nature, right? So what is your relationship with the nature? Then human activity, what is the human activities in your organization? Then human nature, what is the human nature? Then time, then trust and reality, truth or reality, what is your truth and what is the reality, right? Then second authors, according to him, relationship with the nature, right? Then relationship with the people. Then next one is your universalism and particularism. Then individualism and collectivism. Then activity, then different versus specific, then achievement versus aspiration, then relationship with time. Okay, then according to Alder, that is human nature, then relationship with the nature, then individualism and collectivism, then human activity, then space, then time. Okay, then according to Hull, that is space, then time, then language. Then last, according to Hofstede, what is uncertainty avoidance, then power distance, then individualism and collectivism, and last one is your fraternity, right? So these are the different dimensions of culture. Then underlying culture assumptions, right? What are the assumptions underlying in culture? So the assumptions underlying in culture is classified into three parts. First one is your external application, second one is your external integration, and last one is your linking assumptions. Okay, so first one is your external adoption. In external adoption, we can find relationship with nature control, uncertain avoidance, right? So what is the relationship with the nature, right? And how will control the avoidance? The nature of human activity doing, what is the nature of the human who are, or the human or the people who are working in an organization? The nature of reality and truth, what is the reality and what is the truth, right? So these are the external adoption. Then second one is your external integration. So under external integration, we can find human nature, basically good versus basically evil, right? So sometimes the human natures are good and sometimes their natures are just like evil, right? The nature of human relationship versus task orientation, particularism, right? Or universalism, hierarchical, right? So see here we can find two things, that is what is the nature of human relationship, that is social, and what is the relationship with task. Okay, task orientation, particularism, or universalism, hierarchical. Then next one is your individualism and collectivism, right? What is individualism and what is the collectivism? Then linking assumptions. In linking assumptions, we can find space for personal and physical, right? Yes, we can find some space or areas for personal cultures, and next one is your physical customs, right? Then next one is your language, high-low context, right? What is the language and what is their level, whether it is high or whether it is low. Then time and the time is related to past, present, and future. Yes, we can find three types of time: the time related to past, the time related to present, and the time related to future. Then what are the characteristics of organization's culture, right? So see, these are the different characteristics of organization's culture. First one is your innovation and risk taking. Yes, so see, innovation means what? The creation of something new, right? Innovation means creating something new, right? So the degree to which employees are encouraged to be innovative and take risk, right? So see, through the as we discussed that in culture we can find the common values, common trust, then we can find some common interest or common goal or common norms, or we can say their common beliefs or assumptions. So that's why here each and every people or each and every employees are interested for innovation, means they are trying to create some new things, and they are also interested to take risk, right? As we can find that each and every people is responsible for a common goal, then definitely you will go for innovative and you will also interested to take the risk. Then next one is your attention to detail, right? So see, attention to detail means what? Now you will give more attention to your detail. The degree to which employees are expected to exhibit, that is precision, analysis and take detail, right? So attention to detail, yes, if you are interested for achieving a common goal, then you will give more attention to the details about the work or details about the project. Then outcome orientation, right? So outcome orientation means when you are through the culture or through a proper culture or good culture, you will expect more outcome from the employees, because here we can find common rules and regulations or common customs or traditions, right? So that's why we can find a common orientation. The degree to which management focuses on results or outcomes rather on the techniques and process used to achieve these outcomes, right? Yes, the degree to which the management focuses on result, right? It is a degree, or through the culture the management focuses, or the management give more importance to get the result, or that is otherwise known as outcomes, rather than techniques and processes. The management is not responsible for what technique you are using or what are the processes you are using to get that outcome. Finally the management will expect for the results or outcome, and that is possible through organizational or organization's culture. Then people's orientation, right? So people's orientation means the degree to which management decisions take into considerations the effect of outcomes on people with the organization. So see, normally we can say that the success or failure of every organization purely depends upon their employees, or purely depends upon the human resource or manpower, because the objective of an organization is equal with the effort or the contribution of the employees, right? So that's why through that organizational culture, each and every persons or each and every employee will be interested to give their 100% effort to achieve the organizational goals, right? So organizational culture also gives importance to the people orientation. Then next is team orientation. So normally we can say that team means what? Now where a group of people join together, or more than one individual join together for a common goal or for a common purpose, then we can say that that is team, right? So the degree to which work activities are recognized around teams rather than the individual. So this characteristics tells that organizational culture always give focus or importance to the team rather than the individuals, right? So as I said, ki team is a group of person. So the success or the objective of an organization can be achieved by a team, not by not by an individual person, right? So that's why the organization culture give more focus to team orientation. Then next one is your aggressiveness, right? So aggressiveness means the degree to which people are aggressive and competitive rather than easygoing, right? Yes, aggressive means this type of people are always interested to take risk, or they are always ready to give their maximum productivity or output. So the degree to which people are aggressive and competitive, right? So here through a particular organization culture, or through the culture, each and every people are very aggressive, they are also very competitive rather than easygoing. Then next one is stability. So stability means consistency, right? So in case of stability, the degree to which organizational activities emphasize maintaining the status quo in contrast to growth, right? So as I said, stability means what? Stability means consistency. Consistency means sorry, Consistency means that thing will be constant for a long period of time, or that thing will be stable for a long period of time. And see, that is possible only through organizational culture. So as you know that through organizational culture we can find a common values or common beliefs or common assumptions or a common norms for each and every employee. So that's why we can find the consistency of organization growth, and we can find there is a consistency in different organizational activity which helps to go for growth and development. So these are the characteristics of organization's culture. The next one is functions of organizational culture. So these are the different functions of organizational culture. So first one is culture has a boundary that defining the role, or that is it makes distinguished one organization from other. Yes, culture has a boundary. Each and every culture or each and every organization has certain boundary, or they have certain surroundings. So within that surroundings they will perform their task, right? So similarly the culture has also one boundary, right? And that boundary defining the role, what are the roles and responsibility of all the people, right? What are the roles and responsibility of all the people or all the employees who are working in an organization. So that roles distinguish one organization from other organization, right? So if we as or through organizational culture we can define the roles of an individual person. So that's why it can help to find out the differentiation or find out the difference between one organization to another organization, right? Suppose you are working as a manager in a manager in we can say that in data steel, right? So see the and one of your colleague or one of your friend is working as a manager in Jindal Steel plant, right? So see here the roles and responsibility of the manager of Tata Steel is different from the roles and responsibility of the manager of Jindal Steel plant, right? So that's why we can say that. So due to a certain boundaries, the or through the roles, the organization can find out the differentiation from one organization to another organization. The next one is it communicates a sense of quality for organizational members. Yes, definitely it will communicate a sense of quality because certain norms are there, certain beliefs are there, assumptions are there, right? So or certain beliefs or values are there. So that's why we can find a sense of quality for the organizational members. The next one is culture promotes the generation of commitment to do some things for the sake of organization to a larger extent that one's individual self-interest, right? Yes, so culture it promotes the generation of commitment, right? It creates a commitment to do something because in the culture we can find a commitment, right? So through that commitment the generation find a commitment to do something for the sake of organization or for the development of the organization to a larger extent than one individual's self-interest. The next one is culture improves social system constantly, right? Yes, so see culture also improve the social system because we all are the we all are staying in the society, or we all are living in the society. So similarly the culture is also living in the society. So that's why organizational culture always improve the social system. The next one is your culture can promote sense making and control mechanism, which in turn shapes the attitudes and behavior of the employees. Yes, so see, as we know that culture can promote a sense of making and control mechanism. So through some mechanism we can control the culture of the organization, and which leads to give a proper shape to the attitudes as well as the behavior of the employees. Then culture identifies the principal goals, work methods and behavior, how individual interacts, address each other, how friendship and personal relationships are conducted, right? Yes, culture and identifies the principal goals. So culture helps to identify the common goals of the organization, then work method, how the employee will perform their task, then what is the behavior of each and every employee, then how individual interacts, how individual people are interact with each other, then address each other, then how one individual person is addressing another person, then how friendship, what is the relationship between the people, then how personal relationships are conducted and how the personal relationship is conducted among the employees. The next one is it guides organizational membership, how the boundaries are maintained and who is an insider and who is an outsider, right? So organizational culture also guides the members of the organization, right? How the boundaries are maintained, how they will maintain that boundaries, or how they will maintain the surroundings of the organization, then who is an insider and who is an outsider. So through the function of organizational culture, the organization also find out who are the insiders as well as who are the outsiders, right? Then next one is what are the importance of organizational culture, right? So after function, then we'll discuss the importance of organizational culture. So the first importance of organizational culture is it facilitates organizational commitment and makes the consistency in the behavior of the employees. Yes, it facilitates the organizational commitment. So as we know ki certain assumptions or beliefs or values, or we can say the norms are there, so that's why we can find one organizational commitment, right, and makes the consistency in the behavior of the employees, right? If all the people will be make committed for their work or committed for their objective or goal, then we can find there is a consistency or constant in their behavior, right? Because they will, because all the employees are working in the same culture, right? And they, and each and every persons are learning, each and every person is learning so many things from the culture. So that's why we can find there is a consistency in the behavior of the employees, because the people or the employees, they are learning that behavior from the culture of the organization. So culture is valuable because it reduces ambiguity, right? Yes, so see, culture is very valuable because it reduces ambiguity. Ambiguity means uncertainty, right? So culture is a valuable because it reduces the uncertainties and provides information on how things are done and what is important, right? It also, culture also provides information on how things are done, how things are done in the organization. They are also provided information and what is important and what is important for the organization. The next one is your recruitment and selection are related areas of management development, have an impact on the organization's culture, right? So see, recruitment selection has also some impact on the organization culture. So recruitment means it is a process of searching the suitable candidate, and selection means it is a process of selecting the right person for the right post in the right time, right? So that recruitment and selection it also purely depends upon the organizational culture. So see, the before joining in an organization or before giving interview, before giving any interview in any organization, the people or the employees, they are first searching for they are searching for the goodwill, then the behavior, then the culture of the organization. If they feel that the culture of the organization is very good, then they are interested to join the same organization. But if they will feel that, if they will feel if they will feel that the culture of an organization is not good, then they are not interested to join in the same organization. So if the culture of an organization will be good, or we can find a good organizational culture, then recruitment selection for that organization will be very easy. Then next one is organizational socialization is an important process by which an individual is taught, right? Yes, so organizational socialization is an important process. Definitely, it is an important process by which an individual is taught, right? So, for which an individual person is taught as well as learn what behavior and perspectives are customary and desirable with the work setting, as well as what ones are what ones are not. Then leadership also play an important role in developing organizational culture, right? So normally we can also say that leadership also plays a very important role in developing the organizational culture, right? So as previously I have discussed that leadership means it is the skill, or it is a process through which one leader can lead or influence or motivate the group of people to perform the task, right? So that leadership also plays a very important role in the organizational culture, right? So if we can find a good leader in the organization, then definitely that leader will influence or motivate a group of people to perform better, which helps to achieve the goals or objectives of the organization. So that's why leadership also plays a very important role in developing the organizational culture. Then culture and leadership are the two sides of the coin. Yes, we can say that the culture and leadership both are the two sides of the same coin. In fact, there is possibility under emphasized in leadership research that the only thing for the real importance of leaders do is create and manage the culture, right? So culture and leadership both are the two sides of a coin. Without culture, leadership is not possible. Without leadership, culture is not possible. So in fact there is possibility under emphasize in leadership research, right? So the leaders they can give a research that only thing of real importance that leaders do is create and manage the culture. Then move to the next slide. The next slide is culture as a source of competitive advantage. So normally, sometimes we can consider culture as a source of competitive advantage. Sometimes we can also consider culture as a source of competitive disadvantage. That means when sometimes we can find some positive thing or some advantage from the culture of an organization. Sometimes we can also find some negative things from the culture of the organizations, right? So first let us discuss the culture as a source of competitive advantage, right? What are the competitive advantage of a culture? First one is it enhance employee engagement, right? Correct. So see, culture enhance the employee engagement, right? So organizational culture helps for employee engagement. A positive culture fosters a sense of belonging and motivates employees to contribute more actively to the organization, right? So as I said, organizational culture enhance the employee engagement. Employee engagement means how the people or how the employees are happy with their job, right? And see, if we can find the culture of an organization is good, or we can say that the culture of an organization is all the people are happy with the culture of an organization, that means all the people are comfortable with the culture of the organization. If we can find the same type of organization, then the people will be happy and they will be motivated to contribute more. So that is known as enhanced employee engagement, right? So through organizational culture we can enhance or increase the employee engagement. Then improve performance, right? Normally we can say that performance means the capability or the ability or the work effort of the individual person. So organizational culture also helps to improve the performance of the employees. Now we'll discuss how, right? So see, as I said, performance means it is the efficiency, capability or ability of an individual person, right? So see, if we can find that that is reward and punishment rules, right? So if one organization is for if an organization is follow if an organization is follow the reward and punishment rule or principles for all the employees, then that helps to increase the performance of the employees. So according to this, if suppose the organization will fix a target of 20 for each employee, right? And there is one announcement is also there. If the employees will reach if the employees will reach the 20 performance sorry if all the employee will if the employee will reach the performance that is 20, then they will get reward. But if the employees they will not touch that 20, they will below 20, then they will get the punishment, right? So if one organization will follow the same principle or same customs or cultures for each and every employee, then that helps to improve the performance of the employees. Then because for good work reward is there, or for bad work punishment is there, so the employees are more interested to give their good performance. Then next one, the attraction and retention of talent, right? So see, companies with a strong positive culture are more attractive to potential employees and are better at retaining their current workforce, right? So see, attraction and retention of talent, right? So organizational culture also attract the people or attract the employees and and also retain the employees for a long period of time in their particular organization, right? So see, if so the point of discussion is that if the culture of an organization is good, then that good culture will attract the employees, and that culture also helps the employees to retain or continue his or her job in that particular organization for a long period of time. Then next to the effective communication, right? A cohesive culture encourages open communication and collaboration. Yes. So see, if the culture of an organization is good, then we can find a transparent communication and transparent collaboration of all the people who are working in an organization. And that transformation or collaboration or communication helps to reducing misunderstanding and fostering teamwork. So that helps to reduce the misunderstanding and also foster a teamwork. Then adaptability to change, right? So change means what? So normally we can say that change means modification. Change means modification. So adaptability to change. So each and every organizations are interested to change, right? So organizations with a flexible culture can adapt more readily to changes the market, industry, as employees are more willing to embrace new ideas and practices. Okay, so see, if you want to make any change in the organization, then through culture you can easily make it change. Then next to the brand identity and reputation, right? So see, a well-defined culture contributes a well-defined cultures contribute to the overall brand identity, then helping to then differentiate to the organization in marketplace positive reputation, right? So brand identification and and reputation. So through the organizational culture we can find the brand as well as the reputation of that particular organization. If the reputation of an organization is very good, then definitely we can consider the customs or traditions of that particular organization is goods, right? So through good culture we can find out the brand as well as reputation. Then culture. So these are the culture as a competitive advantage. If we can consider culture as a competitive advantage, then these are the things. But if we can consider culture as a this competitive disadvantage, fast resistance to change, right? So resistance to change means what? Simply we can say that forcefully change, right? Sometimes due to culture, the organizations are interested to make any change forcefully, right? Here, due to that force, the employees are not happy, or the employees are not interested for that change, right? But that is resistance to change, right? Because through culture the organization the all the people, or through culture the organization think that we can make any change in the organizations, but sometimes it creates a problem. So a strong culture can lead to disinterest, making it difficult for organization to adopt a new circumstances or innovative practices. Yes, that is resistance to change, right? Then next one is exclusion of diverse perspectives, right? A homogeneous culture may unconsciously exclude individuals with different backgrounds or viewpoints, right? Yes, a homogeneous culture, homogeneous means same culture may unconsciously exclude the individual. Sometimes they can exclude the individual, limiting creating and innovation, right? So we can find the creativity, innovation as well as creativity as well as innovation. The next one is a misalignment with strategy, right? So if the organization culture doesn't align with the company's strategic goals, then it can hinder performance and lead to confusion among the employees. Yes, so see, if the organization culture doesn't align with the company's strategic goals, right? Yes, if there is no link or if there is no alignment between the organization, between the strategy and goals, then it will create problem, right? So it can hinder performance. Yes, definitely it can hinder the performance or hide the performance and lead to confusion among the employees, and sometimes it can also lead confusion in the mind of the employees. The next one is a potential of group think. Next is a potential for group think, right? A strong emphasis on a conformity and can lead to group think where where dissenting opinions are suppressed, potentially stopping innovations and critical thinking. Okay, so potential for a group thing, right? So see, potential means what? Potential means what is the capability of the individual person, right? So suppose sometimes the potential ability means what an individual can do in future, right? So sometimes the organizations or the managers, sometimes the expectations of the organizations or managers are more from their employees, right? And sometimes and for that reason they are expecting they are expecting many things from them, but which is actually not possible for them, right? So these are also the reasons for potential for group thing. Then next one is your difficulty in cultural change, right? So see, change normally we can say that change is the only constant in the universe, right? So difficulty in cultural change, if so changing an established culture can be challenging and may meet restrict from the employees who are comfortable with the status quo, right? Then next one is a toxic culture, right? So toxic culture means a negative or toxic culture can lead to high turnover, right? So turnover means you are now how many number of employees are joining and how many number of employees are leaving from the organization, right? So toxic culture, right? So toxic culture or negative culture sometimes creates a problem for employee turnover, right? So if we can find a toxic culture or if we can find a negative culture in the organization, then we can find high labor turnover, then low employee moral, then decrease productivity, that also decrease the productivity. Then next one is ultimately harming in organization performance, and finally it will harm the organization performance. So these are the cultures. So these are the things which are coming under the culture as a source of competitive disadvantage, right? So if the so from this, from in nutshell we can say that if the culture of an organization will be good, then we can find the employees are interested, or the employee turnover will be very less. But if the culture of an organization is not good, or if we can find a toxic or negative culture in the organization, then that helps to increase the labor, or we can say that employee turnover. If employee turnover will be happen, then it will if okay, if we can find a negative culture, negative or toxic culture, then that will hamper the employee turnover, right? That also, if we can find employee turnover, then that leads to low morale, that leads to decreased productivity, right? And ultimately harming the organization performance. And finally we can say that these things harming the performance of the organizations. Then next one is your cultural class, right? So a cultural class occurs when people or group with different cultures, backgrounds interact and experience conflict or misunderstanding. if we can find some misunderstanding or conflict, then we can say that that is cultural class, right? So that cultural class occurs when people or group with different cultures or backgrounds interact and experience, right? So see the suppose, so take the same example, the culture of TCS and the culture of Infosys, right? If we can find, if both the manager will come, then we can find some problems, we can find some cultural class in between them, right? So cultural class that will create some misunderstanding, or that will create some disturbances or quarrel between two parties, right? Then next one is, these conflicts can be caused by differences in values. So these conflicts can be caused by different values, due to different values, then belief, then practices, then work ethics, decision making styles, then body language, then communication styles, and unconscious bias, right? The next one is, in the workplace, culture classes can be overcome by promoting cultural awareness and education, right? It also created due to awareness as well as education. So it can include providing training and workshop, right? If we can find, after promoting the cultural awareness and education, if no result will be there, then this can include provide training and workshop to the employees, undertake different cultural norms and practices. Then cultural clash in the workplace can occur when people with different backgrounds come together. Yes, the people, they are coming from different backgrounds. If the different people from different background will come to the culture, or come to the culture of an organization, or will join together, then we can find cultural clash. This can be due to differences in values. Yes, this can be due to differences in values, then styles, and last one is work habits. Then next one is, why do cultural classes happens, right? So what are the reasons for cultural classes, right? So as we discussed that cultural classes is arises due to the misunderstanding, or due to the people, they are coming from different background, or they are coming from different cultures, right? So it is a very difficult task for them to cope up with the existing culture of one particular organization, because the people or the managers, they have worked in a different culture, and if the culture of your organization is not matched with them, then it will create problem, right? So why do cultural classes happens? And depending on the needs of the family, it serves a family office can often bring together professional of different experience, and from every different cultural backgrounds, right? The next one is, many people also operate in multiple jurisdiction. Yes, many people, they are operate in multiple jurisdiction or different areas, so it is very common for them to have the diverse team of employees around the world. Yes, as you find, the people, they are coming, or they are operating from different jurisdiction, then differences will be there, right? Then however, without proper management, these differences may give rise to cultural classes, right? So without proper management, right? So without proper management, it is not possible for the organization. Then however, without proper management, these differences may give rise to cultural classes. So, without proper management, we can also find the cultural classes. As family offices tend to have a small and intimate team, the impact of cultural classes in a close-knit environment can be disrupt. Right? If a small office, a family offices tend to be small and intimate team. Suppose the family, they have an intimate team, then the impact of the cultural classes in close knit environment can become the disasters, right? Sometimes we can also find the cultural class happen there, right? Then next one is that it can visible in different ways. So their cultural class is visible in different ways, whether from the different cultural background. Sometimes through the background we can understand, then sometimes due to prescription we can understand, and the la- and then in work ethics, then next one the differing decisions making style. If the decision making style will be different, then we can find cultural classes. The next one is it can also be taking root in less obvious aspect of culture, such as body language, communication style, and unconscious bite. Right? So see it. So it can also be taking root in less obvious aspect of culture. Right? It may be the language or communication or communication style and unconscious bias. Then what are the causes of cultural classes, right? So these are the different causes of cultural classes. First, the cultural differences. So cultural, we can find cultural differences due to the people, due to the employees or due to the people who are working in the organization. When the people from different cultures have different values, beliefs, and behaviors. Yes, if the people they are coming from the different areas or different person from different place, then definitely their values, their beliefs and behavior will be different, right? So due to the difference in their beliefs, values and behavior, we can find cultural classes. Then next is the contact between cultures, right? So see what is your culture, what is your contact with the cultures, right? So see suppose if you have a good contact with the culture, then definitely your contact, then that will lead to organize a culture. Then next one is your misunderstanding, right? So when people don't understand the reason behind the different cultural practices, then it will create misunderstanding, right? So another reason for cultural classes is misunderstanding, right? So see, as we know, so in culture we can find the people they are coming from the different place, or they are coming from different states, or they are also coming from different areas, right? So as we know, the people they are coming from different areas, then that thing creates misunderstanding among them, because the beliefs, values and behavior of one area people will be different from the beliefs, values and behavior of another people. Then the same thing also find in other cases. Then next is the lack of awareness, right? So people may not be aware or participate the cultural differences of their colleagues, right? So see lack of awareness. If the people they have lack of awareness, then they have also cultural classes. Then different values. Employees' personal values may differ from companies' core values and mission. Yes, different values. If the people having different values, then we can also find cultural class. Then communication style, what is the style of communication? So non-verbal communication such as language, facial expression, gestures can vary across culture, right? Yes, so the language, then facial expression and gestures are different from one person to another person. The next, educational experiences or different educational backgrounds can lead to different approaches to problem solving, right? Yes, so see if the people they are coming from different educational background, right? So they have some idea, so this thing helps to find out the solution of the problem. Then norms and practices, right? Spoken and unspoken rules about what is and is not appropriate workplace behavior can vary across the culture. Then decision making style, right? The roles of individual plays in decision making can vary across the culture. So decision making means what? Decision making means it is a process of find out the best solution among the available solution or among the alternative solution. So sometimes if one person will take a decision and the other people are not happy with their decision, then definitely we can find cultural classes. So these are the reasons for cultural classes. Then next one is how can cultural classes be resolved, right? If some cultural classes or if some cultural problems are there, then how we can resolve, or how we can resolve the cultural classes, right? So see some problems are there. If some problems are there, or if cultural classes are there, then how we can solve, or how we can resolve the cultural classes. Okay. So these are the cultural classes. So first one is promote cultural awareness, then encourage open communication, then set clear expectations. Then next one is what is recognizing culture, right? So recognizing culture involves understanding and appreciating the diversity of values, customs and beliefs that exist across the culture. So cultural recognizing culture means it is a process of find out the values, customs, beliefs that exist. Find out the diversity of values, customs, and beliefs that exist across the culture. It can help you build a cultural bridge. So if we can find the diversity or differences between the values, customs and beliefs among the employees, then that will build a cultural bridge, and that will also break down the barriers and relate better to people from different backgrounds, right? So a culture of recognition develops engaged and loyal employees, and making employees appreciation integral to your workplace culture that can be achieved through the meaningful and intentional practices. Then next one is some ways to recognize culture. How will how will recognize the culture, right? So first one is be aware of hints, right? So be aware of hints means through the hints you can, through the hints or through the symbols you can recognize the culture. So there can be many layers of culture and differences within the same culture. Then consider your own beliefs, right? So you will consider your own belief always. If you are employees of a particular organization, then definitely you will always consider your own beliefs. That is think about where your beliefs and behaviors come from, and how you treat people from different backgrounds. It purely depends upon you how you will treat with the other people. Then avoid assumptions, right? So when you think you might be making assumptions about someone, consider other cultural factors could be affecting the situation. Then seek out connections, right? So join groups or go to gathering where you can interact with the people from different backgrounds. Then ask questions and pay attention to non-verbal communication. Always you ask questions and you also pay attention. Then learn about different cultures, right? So stay up to date on current world events, learn a different language and expose yourself art from the other cultures. Then be carefully sensitive, right? So it is also another thing to recognize the culture in the workplace. Recognize cultural differences when communicating to create an inclusive environment. Then next one is what are the dimensions of cultural differences suggested by Hofstede, right? So Hofstede define different dimensions of cultures. So let us discuss first one is the power distance, right? So according to him, or Hofstede expressed that inequality is a normal and desirable thing. Yes, inequality, right? Which means large power distance to inequality should avoided as much as possible, which means small power distance. Then second one is individualism and collectivism. According to him, everybody for himself or herself, right? Yes, everybody is working for himself or herself, which is called individualism, and people should remain attached to tight throughout life, which is called collectivism, right? In case of individualism, you will work for yourself or you will work for himself or herself, right? But in case of collectivism, you will work for the whole, right? Then next is uncertainty avoidance, right? So Hofstede states that the extent to which society feels threatened by uncertain and ambiguous situations provide us career stability, establishing more formal rules, not tolerating the deviant ideas and behavior, and believing in absolute truth and attainment of expertise. The next one, the next one is masculinity and femininity, right? So according to Hofstede, right, social gender roles should maximally different, right? Yes, which is called masculinity and two social gender roles should be maximally overlapping, which is called femininity, right? A large difference between the gender roles lead to those society where large overlap leads to tense society. Then long-term versus short-term orientation. Now, in case of long-term orientation, or according to Hofstede, long-term orientation implies a stress on various living in the world with thrift or persistence as key virtue. Short-term orientation goes together with a stress on finding the truth with a capital T. So truth rather than virtue is assured salvation. Then next one is what are the factors affecting the managerial behavior. So there are various factors affecting the managerial behavior. First one is the personal values. So personal values means when a personal values helps the manager to take decisions in the organization. So decision means what, to find out the best solution, and the best solution is purely to find out the best solution is purely based upon the personal values, or what is the values of an individual person. Then manager's background, right? According to Macklin study shows that USA managers come from all economic strata such as lower, middle and upper classes. Yes, in the organization we can find upper classes, middle classes as well as lower classes, right? In Japan's we can also find the same thing, but there are some other factors such as educational qualification, class, family background that make a differences. Then next, a role of religion. Some religious values put emphasis on along event to develop in their own way. Then next one is what are the factors affecting managerial behavior. So first one is the interpersonal skill, then second one is your decision making skill, third one is your influence to political context. Okay, so in interpersonal skills we can find interpersonal skill means what is the relationship of a manager within the people who are working in the organization as well as the people who are working outside the organization. Then in case of decision making, the manager will find out the best solution. The manager will find out the best solution which will give maximum productivity or output to the organization, and that helps to achieve the goals or objectives of the organization. Then the influence of political context. Sometimes we can find there is also the influence of political context in the organizational culture. Then what are the objectives of cross-cultural study? The cross-cultural study helps to understand the systematic covariation between the culture and the behavior variables. What is the culture and what is the behaviors of the people? Then it can also reveal the total range of the broad variability and every possibility differences which exist in human social behavior. What is the culture of the organization and what is the behavior of the human who are living in the society. Then these are the utility of cross cultural study. Thank you.